Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday. Today's guest is Jay. He's a real warrior. He's a pro MMA fighter, a boxer, and a K1 heavyweight. He has fought in people from around the world. He's on a mission to become who he's destined to be. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get into it. I'm excited to have you on the show, Jay.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having me in the show.
Yeah, let's have a lot of fun. And for the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, can you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
Jay Silva, I'm an MMA fighter. I mean, I fought in the biggest organizations in the world, UFC, Bellator, SW. I mean, you name it, I've been there. Been there, done that. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm an athlete.
Jay, it's always fascinating to hear the why behind someone's passions. What made you want to become a fighter?
Man, I was a bouncer in New York City. I just finished college. I didn't know what to do. I stopped bouncing, and next thing it was just fighting all the time, you know. But when you're bouncing, you're fighting dead in the club. It's just all the bouncers come, so he's not a really fighter. A fight, and I keep getting fired because I would go and really start a fight, you know, because I was so aggressive because I wasn't having fun. I was like, I gotta babysit everybody having fun. I was hating, you know, I was basically a hater. And I was like, this guy's drinking, having fun. I'm not drinking. What the hell? I have to babysit. So I hate. So every time some type of shit started a little commotion, I'll go straight through it. And I just want to, you know. And the owners keep firing me, but they like me at the same time. They're like, you're a good guy, but you're a liability for the club. So we can have you do this. I was like, oh, no, give me one chance. And I went to club to club to club. I work all over New York City. And the last club I worked, I got into a fight. The owner actually is a good friend of mine. And he was like, hey, man, I can't have you. Like, this is not for you. Why don't you just be a fighter? Fight for living. I was like, fight for living. I was like, hell no. I was like, nah. It was like, yeah. And then one of the bouncers there was a little guy, was a Gracie. He was like, why don't you come and train with me since you think you can fight? Because I was big bouncer. I was like, what? It's like, come tomorrow morning, come and train with us. Let's see what you got. I was like, all right, let me see it. I went there. I'm rolling 170 pounds. I was about 240. And this guy, he beat me so bad that after rolling, I was crying. I was like, yo, how can that happen? Like I was humiliated. And I look at Hansel, I look at my other coach, Bincourt. I was like, how can that happen? It was like size doesn't matter, man. You know? And I was like, I've got to beat this guy. He was like, if you want to be here, you can. If you're not, it's up to you. So on that day, I said, I'll never leave this gym until I beat that particular guy. It took me 7 years to beat that guy. 7 years. And that's how Jay Silva's story started.
No, I believe you on that one. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to do what you do. I mean, a lot of people dream about, but they never do what you do in like MMA and fighting and doing heavyweight and everything you're doing. MMA to the K1 to I mean, you do so much different stuff. I mean that's so impressive. I mean,
I'm
what's the
I'm
hardest part about
blessed.
training in as a heavyweight?
I think as a heavyweight, is everything is easy. You can eat whatever you want. You can sleep whenever you want. Your body's always adjusted to what you want, you know. The hardest part was cutting weight, 185, 205. That's the hardest part of a training camp. Heavyweight, I find it the most easiest way to fight. The only thing about heavyweights is like one shot counts.
Mm.
Hands up the whole time. It don't matter who it is, a big guy, if he touch you, you're gonna go to sleep. So if you want to go to heavyweight, make sure your hands are up because don't matter who it is. When you're fighting like middleweight, light heavyweights, some guys don't punch hard or anything, so you don't really care. You just, do your thing, but you don't really respect the person that much. At heavyweight, you gotta respect everybody. Every single one are dangerous. So can you put your lights out?
Me personally, heavyweight is my favorite to watch. It's amazing to see how much effort goes into staying ready, like you're saying. What does a normal day of training look like for you?
Well, wake up at like at 5 o'clock in the morning, go for a run, like a 3 mile run to 5 mile run. Come back around 6, get back to sleep. Wake up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, eat breakfast. Mm, 9 o'clock, 9:30, go to the gym, have my first workout, like usually striking or MMA. From 10 to like 12, come back home, eat, relax a little bit, go to the gym, do some strength and condition from like 2 to 3, 4 o'clock, come back home, relax a little bit, take a sleep, eat, and then go back to the gym like at 6, 6:30 to go do jujitsu or wrestling, depends on the day. And to like from 6:30 to like 8:30, come back home, sleep, do it again.
Now, for the listener out there that may not understand, you're doing this for many months. How often are you doing this for? How
I,
long?
I used to I used to do that for 3 months all the time, 3, 4 months, getting ready for a fight. When I started,
Wow.
that's what I used to do. And but later on I learned that my body, like, I get in shape quick and I was burning my body. So I talked to Randy Couture. It was like, you training hard, you're not training smart, kid. Like, you got a lot of gifts, you got a lot of things going on with you, but you're not training with your mind, with your brains. I was like, what? Because now I only train 5 weeks, 6 weeks stops, and I'm in shape and I'm good to go. I don't need that much.
Yeah, people don't always see the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what really started. It's not like you see the final product when we get to the cage, win or lose. People say, "Oh, he sucks, he's whack, and this and that." That's what they see. They don't see what we put behind the sacrifices that we do. To be there, to just to entertain you guys. It takes so much. Behind the scene is the worst training camp. Is the worst fighting. It's easy. It's like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, 25 minutes. It's easy, but getting ready for the fight, molding your body for that night, for that day, for like 3 months, 6 weeks, whatever it takes, 8 weeks, is a lot, man. Sometimes your body can handle. And but that's what we gotta do to show you guys what we can do, to prove to ourselves that we can do it, and prove to other people that we the man, we the best, because everybody wanna be an alpha male, but and when it's time to do alpha male things, not a lot of people want to do it. So that's when we go there and we show what we can do. But yeah.
Yeah, Jay, how does it feel to step into the ring and hear the crowd?
Oh man, it's like, for me, it's like a drug. It's a big adrenaline. It's just like, usually I like to go fight places that foreign countries that I'm like the villain, like,
The
like everybody
underdog.
always underdog. They always boo me. They always boo me, and I'm driven by negativity. Like I tell my coaches, don't tell me I'm doing good. Don't tell me I'm winning. All the time, tell me that I'm doing like shit. I look like shit. I'm losing. I don't want to hear that. So when people boo me, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. Okay, that's my time to do my thing. That's what I like. So when I hear the crowd, it's just like, oh man, this is real. It's like when the referee want to tell you, are you ready? Sometimes you want to tell, like, no, I'm not ready, but you're hearing that crowd, you're like, you know what, fuck all you guys. Yeah, I'm ready, let's go. I'm sorry,
That
I'm cursing, but
yeah, that energy
yeah,
must be wild.
it's
As soon as
crazy,
as
man, but
soon
it's a
as you
good
hop
one.
into the cage.
Yeah, the nerves, everything is just like before the fight, you got all this emotion, nerves. You got like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why? It's always, because you don't know what's going to happen. But right after the fight, you're like, when we doing again? When is the next fight? What's going on? I'm like, what the? My coach was like, my last fight, Lorenzo Larkins was with me in my corner, and he saw the whole process. He saw me getting so nervous and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, this again. He's like, man, you fought so many times. Like, what's wrong? I was like, man, it's always, for me, feels like always the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of doubting myself sometimes, because you're fighting a heavyweight. And he was like, you don't want to do this? I was like, fuck, man. I don't know, man. He was like, watch, as soon as the fight is over, you're gonna look at me, you're gonna ask for another fight. I was like, I don't know. As soon as the fight was over, I look at him. He was like, what did I say? I was like, fuck, you're right, man. It is what it is. Every day we learning something new. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
What's been the biggest fight you've ever had, and where is it at?
The biggest fight, I mean, name wise or.
Well, you said
Or
you fought around the world. Where are some of the places you fought, and then we can go name wise.
I fought in Poland. I fought all over the state. Uh, I fought in Germany. Not Budapest. I forgot in the country there.
I bet fighting in Poland was not easy.
The first time I went there, the very first time, it was like insane. I was walking the street the first day. I took that fight in 1 day notice, and I felt like a pit bull out of the leash. I was just walking the street, and everybody was just looking at me. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I feel like an animal in a zoo or something, like, you know. And people boo me so much, boo, boo, boo. I was like, I like that. So I had the fight. After the fight, everybody was like, "You, you tough, like you good, whatever." Now I go there, I feel like home. It's like my second home. I'm so welcoming there. People love me there. Like if I'm gonna retire at Poland. That's gonna be my last fight. I'm gonna make it Poland.
That's really cool. Hopefully, you got many more years left in you. What goes through your mind when a fight
Why?
starts?
I gotta kill him or he's gonna kill me. One of us gotta go. Like, it's either him or me. And mentally, I prepare myself mentally like I'm ready to die. Are you ready to die? Because I am. I accept my fate. Like I view life like you're not promised for tomorrow. You never know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. So you can get in that cage and not come out. You never know what's going to happen. So in my mind, it's like this is it. It is what it is. That's my faith. That's what I choose to do. And I accept everything that happens to me. So when I get in there, it's either me or you. One of us gotta go. Like, I don't like going to decisions. I don't like that. I just really like to fight and try to get out or get knocked out or knock somebody out. That's my goal. That's what I go for.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, and you got to put yourself in the situation to win. At the end of the day, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta put yourself like, hey, I mean, sometimes you get a lot of doubts. Like I'm talking like that because my last fights, I've been taking fights in 1 week notice. We're not training, and flying over to country to country to country to do interviews and come back. So I don't really have time to train, but I still go there and perform. And it's hard. So when you get there and guys that training 3 months, 4 months to fight you, and you don't have even a month, or you have like a week training, but you training, but not training for a fight because it's two different things: training and training for fights. Because training just for training for fun is completely different. You're not in shape, but training for a fight is a different monster because you gotta be in shape for 25 minutes or 15 minutes. Just keep going and going and going. So yeah, so when you get there and you're still having those doubts, like I didn't train, I didn't do this, like I'm just gonna do what I do best. I know if I touch him or if he touch me, but I know my head is good. But I'm a pretty good, confident guy with my striking. I know I can block really good. I can take a punch. So I'll be like, all right, but I just need him to feel one of my punches and see how he's gonna react, and then we go from there. Like, I can plan everything, game plan. I never do it. I just do it as the fight goes. I adjust and just try to do what I have to do.
and Jay, with all your years of experience with fighting, I mean, what's been one of the biggest lessons you've learned from fighting?
Always respect your opponent. You know, don't disrespect anyone. Don't think anyone is less than you. Yeah, man. Humble. Be humble. You know, it's just a job. It's just a sport, nothing more. But sometimes when you fight, you take the things personally. You think more than what it is, and by the end of the day, that person's just trying to feed their family. They're just trying to survive, just like you. So, you know, you do what you gotta do, but always be humble and always treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, at the end of the
That's
day,
that's what I
the
learned.
other person in the ring is fighting for their family as well. I mean, being humble teaches us more than winning.
Yeah, I mean, I learned big way. Like Actor Lombard humbled me up, and I needed that. I needed that, and I'm glad he did it. And since that day, I learned a big lesson, and I was like, "Fuck this," I was humble. That was good.
Now, Jay, do you have a favorite heavyweight fighter of all time?
Favorite heavyweight fighter for me. Uh, I like Overeem a lot. I like the way he fights. I like Chad Congo. I like strikers. I like Middle Crow Cop. Uh, yeah, yeah. My favorite is like Wolverine back in the days, when his striking was so on point. And Congo, Pat Barry. Pat Barry is one of my favorites heavyweights too, you know. But Middle Pro Cop and Fedor. I love Fedor, man. I can't get wrong with that guy.
Yeah, heavyweight fighters are my favorite fighters to watch. And
Uh,
Jay, I have to ask you, what's been the hardest punch you've ever taken in a fight?
to be honest with you, I mean, the hardest punch, it doesn't hurt because you go out. So you don't feel anything. It's just like, what happened? And now you're being knocked out. 5 minutes later, what happened? Because you don't feel a damn thing. Like being knocked out is a good feeling. I prefer to get knocked out than to get beat up and all bruised and cut and be like I was in a battle than be knocked out because being knocked out, you don't really feel it and your brain growls. But yeah, the hardest puncher, mm, man, I don't know, man. A couple people brought me.
Now, Jay, what is it like being a heavyweight in today's fighting world?
It's exciting, man. It's really exciting. You got to challenge yourself against big guys, the real man. I mean, everybody want to see two heavyweights fight. They know it's usually never go to distance. And being a heavyweight is just like an extra challenge for me. It's an extra like boost, like, yeah, I'm the man, because all of us as alpha males, we want to think that we the best. We do everything, but until you find somebody better than you, then you see like, hey, I'm not so tough after all. So that's my challenge. I like that. I like to challenge myself to the limit, and being a heavyweight, I think, is the best move I ever made.
Yeah, heavyweights really bring the power.
Yeah.
Um, Jay, what's one move or combo that always works in a fight?
For me, it's been the flying knee. I'm really athletic. I can jump really high. I can kick really fast. So as a heavyweight, you don't see a lot of heavyweights that are explosive in athletics. So, for me, I'm fast. For me, speed beats power. Like I train with Freddie Roach, he used to tell me that all the time. So, I like to be fast and, don't matter how big you are. And I always throw the flying knee, and every time I'll always catch it, man. That's my signature move.
And Jay, I really want to ask this because if a kid wants to grow up and, be a fighter like you, what would you tell them?
Don't do it. Go to school, be a doctor, be a lawyer, do something else, man. Fighting is not, I mean, just that's my personal opinion. But if the kid really wants to do it, I mean, just train hard, but it's no, what can I say? Either you born with it or you don't. Either you have the heart for it or you don't. You can teach somebody to go to the ring and face somebody else like, this is it. Either you have it or you don't. So when everybody asks me, when kids ask me, I want to be a fighter like you, whatever, this and that, you know what I said? I tell them, stay still, don't move. I'm gonna slap you as hard as I can, and you cannot move or flinch. If you can do that, if you can take it, you got it. If you're not, no. As soon as I go like this, they're like flinch, and they're like, you see, you don't even want to get hit, and it's a slap, and he's coming, and you think you want to get punched and kick and God knows what else. You're not ready, man. That's not for everybody. That's what I do.
I really want to. What do you love most about being a heavyweight fighter?
I get to eat whatever I want. I love to eat. I used to cut to 85 and I used to be miserable, like crying and cutting weight was the worst. Like training camp was never fun. Now training camp is fun. I can eat whatever I want, whatever I can. and it's just fun, man. The only thing I gotta worry about is putting my hands up in the fight. That's it. The rest of it is fun. I really, really like it. I wish I would have made that move a long time ago.
Now, your Instagram page, what does it mean to be on a mission to you?
To be on a mission, like, I'm on a mission to be what destiny wants me to be. Like, I'm just on a mission to. For me right now, I'm almost retired. I'm 43 years old. I'm not gonna be fighting for that much longer. I've signed a very good deal with Fame MMA. I got like three more fights. I just got invited to fight on July 12th, and thank God I have a very, very good deal. Well, I'm blessed. Thank you. But I'm not. I think this is it for me, man. I'm old. There's a lot of young guys right now, and for me, it's all about legacy. For me, I want to fight the biggest fights, the biggest name. I want to be, known like I fought until a late age, but I fought guys that matter. Guys that everybody knows. That's what I want to be recognized by somebody that fought the best of the best. And that's pretty much it. And after that, I'm next to my next journey. I'm opening my business. I'm investing the money that I'm making. That's all about. Just do whatever you can, take whatever you can from the fights, and transfer to whatever else you want to do after the fighting.
Now, Jay, where do you see yourself in like 5 years after fighting?
5 years, or when I see myself, well, I'm opening a couple business in South Africa. So I see myself being a businessman, maybe helping people in MMA because I love MMA and I help fight. I love fighting. So helping people reaching their goal like I did, somebody helped me. So I'll probably help people on that. But other than that, just being a businessman, just taking care of my business and just being happy and don't ever have to worry about fighting or anything like that. Just being there for the next generation. It's all about the next generation from now on. It's not about me anymore.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Preparing the next generation to move forward into the next chapter. And this is
Yeah.
the Friday mindset part of the show. I want to dig into your journey, your mindset, and the moments that shaped you. Jay, what has been the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Randy Couture. Train smart, not harder. You training hard, you're not training smart. You left everything in the gym, not in the cage. That's the best advice I ever had from somebody.
Can you
Never forget
unpack
that
that
day.
for me a little bit?
What do you mean? Like, how did it happen?
Yeah.
Was right after the fight with Chris Lieben. I fought Chris Lieben in UFC, and I was so confident I was going to beat Chris Lieben because, everybody knows Chris Lieben likes to stand and bang. I just came out of the fight with CB Dalloway, took me down, hold me down the whole time. So I was so confident. I was like, I'm a better striker than that guy. I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna kick his ass standing because he don't like to take it to the ground. So I trained for death training camp. I trained for 3 to 4 months nonstop, like 8 to 12 hours a day. I was so focused, it was like UFC, the biggest stage, Chris Lee, but the biggest thing. I'm like, this is it for me. Like, I'm not fighting cans, I'm fighting like real guys. And I used to see Chris Lieben on TV before I started fighting. So for me, it was just like, it's it. But I know I'm better than that guy. I trained so hard, so hard, so hard. By the time of the fight, I was done. I was overtrained. As soon as I touched the cage, my body was so hot, so warm. I was like, what's going on? And then Chris Liber throw a punch. I studied him so well that I was like, I knew exactly what he was gonna do. I was like, okay. Soon as I hit him, his eyes roll back, and I was like, I got you. All I gotta do is touch you now. And he switched the mentality, took me down the whole fight. I was like, this is not Chris Lieben. And he was smelling so bad that I was down. I remember being down and he was on top of me smelling so bad. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? I wasn't thinking about him punching. I was just thinking about the smell. It was like, and One part of the fight, I was like, I thought you're gonna stand up and bang. What's up? He was like, yeah, kid, this is a war. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna win by all means necessary. And I was a kid, I couldn't dress. I was like, yo, this Chris sleeping, you're a banger. Like, what are you doing? But it's all about winning. So when the fight's over, I was really, really depressed. I was like, I knew how much better than him I was. I knew every time I touch him, the face that he made, what he said to me after the fight. So I was like, ain't no way I can lose to this guy. And I lost to this guy. I was really, really down. And I started questioning everybody, to uh, uh, all my training coaches, everybody. What's wrong? What I did wrong? Like, I'm better than him. What's wrong? What's wrong? They were like, and then I got cut from the UFC too. So I was just like, man, I was really down. And then I went to Vegas, and then I went to Randy to Couture's MMA, and Randy was there. And I was like, hey, Randy, you saw the fight? He was like, yeah, man, you really good. You really talented. I was like, I don't think so. Like, I'm better than Chris Lee. But it's like, yes, you are very, very, yeah, I think you are better too. But it's like, what I did wrong? Why did I lose? It's like, because you experience, Chris Lee have a lot of experience. And from what I can see, you left everything in a gym. I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, yes, you were tired. You left everything in the gym. And then I started telling my training camp. He was like, there you go. You training, you gotta train smarter, not harder. You guys think it's all about training hard for a fight? No, it's about training smart and recovering your body. And that day on, I completely changed. It's like, oh. And he told me one thing he told me too is like, this is your job. This is not your life. You got to separate your life from your job. Sometimes as fighters, we think that fighting is everything to us. It's our life, it's our job, it's everything. So when we lose, we get really depressed. We got the suicidal thoughts. We got all that going on. But when Randy told me like separate the two, when you go in there, it's your job, winning or losing. You have people that love you, go to your family, okay? And don't worry about it. It is what it is. Just take one day at a time. You're gonna have good days at the office. You're gonna have bad days at the office, and that's what it is. You gotta leave it at the office. And then I kind of started knowing that fighting was my job, was not my life. Because I before that I was confused. I thought fighting was my life. That losing a fight wasn't acceptable. Was like, and a lot of fighters still think like that. But yeah, that's what happened.
No, that kind of strength is rare.
Wow, yeah, man. Because you mixed up when you're fighting. And you train and you put your body to whatever you put, and you train every day for 6, 8 hours a day, consumes you. Like, you don't have time for your family, you have time for anything. You just think, this is my life. This is what I have to do. So when you put in your mind that, you got to put in your mind that you're going to win the fight, first of all. So during the whole training camp, you already put in your mind, I'm winning this fight no matter what. Nothing, I'm doing everything right. I'm winning this fight. And when you lose the fight, and you lose the fight like for a decision or boring fight or whatever it is, it kind of like, man, all these hours, everything I did, all this training, it didn't pay off. Like, what's going on? And that's what happened to me. And that was my job. And now I do it differently. And now it's my job. And now I go do my job. I please people, don't please people. Hey, I don't care. I gotta show up for me. I'm there putting my life on the line, not you guys. Fans and MMA fans are a little bit ungrateful. They love you one day and they hate you the next day. So, it's a really, you know, it is what it is.
Do you have any more crazy fighting moments?
Uh, Bruce Lee was on. CB Dalloway was one too, because I took that fight in short notice. And I didn't even wrestle. I was just so used to training with Czech Congo Rampage. And every time they touch you, hurt you, and I develop a lot of power in my hands. So I was like, why train wrestling, jiu-jitsu? I mean, I was good already in jiu-jitsu, so I was finding there. I was like, they take me down fine. But you get so addicted to punching somebody and seeing their eyes roll back and they scared of you that, you know, and CB Delaware was like that, he's just start taking me down all the time. And it was fights that really got me really, really depressed, man. Like, was my beginning of my career. I didn't know any better. I didn't have experience. My friends told me, don't take the fights in the UFC now. You're young, you need more experience. But when you're young, broke, trying to achieve your goals, and somebody handed your goals in a platter, they here, you can go whatever you want to. You're not gonna listen to anyone. You'd be like, hey, you made your life. You're already doing you. So what about me? I gotta think about me. But you don't know that they actually care about you. They try to advise you not to make the mistakes that they did. But sometimes you got to make the mistakes, and that's what I did. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't
Overall,
regret it because it made me what I am, and I'm good.
how many fights have you been in?
26, 28, something like that. A lot.
That'll change a man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm just blessed that I was able to fight in MMA, kickboxing, and boxing. That was my dream, man. Now I accomplished all of that. I'm good.
No, it's very impressive resume you have.
Well,
And for anyone out there that is struggling with their confidence, what would you tell them?
and just believe in you. You got to put you first. It's you and nobody else. Like, nobody can give you nobody can feel confident like you do. You gotta know you the shit. You gotta know you run shit. You gotta know you the alpha male. You gotta know when you walk to the room, you can beat everybody. That's how I think. I walk to a room with a whole bunch of guys. I'll look around. I'll be like, yeah, I'm good here. You know, and that's just my mind. Even if I'm not, but I gotta think that, yeah, I'm good, I'm solid, I'm protected. And that's you. You on your own gotta give the self-confidence. Nobody can do that for you.
Jay, what kind of legacy are you going to leave?
The guy that fought the best of the best, the guy that took fights on short notice and didn't care about winning or losing, but just went there and fought, the guy that never quit, that never threw a fight, that never gave up. That's legacy. I wanna be remembered as, like, how can I say, like, history. I want to make history. Like, I fought the strongest man in the world in the Guinness Book with 7 hours notice. Flying from country to country to get there to watch the fight, to end up fighting the guy. To going to fight Hector Lombard in 3 day notice. Like, that's all my whole career is all about that. So I want to be remembered like the guy that was not scared, that fought whatever they put in front of him and just like the fight. That's it. And they fought the best in the world.
Legacy, that's what it's all about.
That's my legacy. That's all I care.
Jay, the show is called Every Day is Friday, and Friday has a special energy, whether it's freedom, excitement, or just feeling of accomplishment after a long week. Jay, I want to hear from you. What does Friday mean to you?
Friday right now, to be honest, for me, is gonna be good because I'm moving out of the country. Everything is coming today to go to the place that I'm gonna be moving, and it's exciting, nerve-wracking at the same time. I got a fight coming up that I'm thinking about it. It's just Friday's just one of those days. I'm always happy on Friday. It's like this is it. And I gotta be blessed for this Friday. A lot of good things happened to me, man. I'm so grateful. And hey, it is what it is. It's Friday. Every day is Friday.
Every day is Friday indeed. And
I
Jay, this is
wish
your
it was.
chance. This is your chance to leave the listeners with something powerful. Is there anything else you want to share before we go?
Man, just believe in yourself. Never, never quit. Believe in yourself. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let anybody tell you wrong. Like, just know that you can do it and only you can do it. Nobody gonna help you. Nobody gonna walk the door with you. They're gonna open the door for you, but you gotta walk by yourself. In the darkest of the darkest, you're gonna be there alone. You gotta have a really strong mindset that whatever happens, it's your responsibility and your responsibility only. You can take it. You can, just stay strong and do it, man. Don't let nobody tell you wrong. Like, believe in yourselves.
If you want it
That's
done,
that's
if you
that's
want it
what
done right, do it yourself. That's what
you
I tell
gotta do.
myself.
You gotta do yourself, man. Nobody gonna do it like you. Nobody. No
And
matter who they are.
all your information will be in the description down below. But I want to make sure that people know where to find you and support your work. Do you have any upcoming fights at all either? You want to
Yeah, I
share?
do. But right now, I can't really. I mean, he's on my Instagram. I'm fighting the world's strongest man again. in the Guinness Book, Mari Pujanowski. We set up a date because, like I said, I fought him in a 7 hour notice. I wasn't training at all. And I think I beat him up. If everybody watched the fight, they're gonna see the fight. But being in Poland and being Dublin, and he's from there. He won the fight. Was a decision. So we became really good friends actually because he's a really nice guy. So we talk all the time. So we said, are we gonna do it again? It's gonna be a money fight. Hey, everybody like money fights, and they treat me really, really good in Poland. So I love Poland. And yeah, that's going to be my next fight. That's what I'm thinking of. And I got invited to do a tournament, a heavyweight tournament in Poland too. That I'm thinking about it. A lot of good things coming this year. A lot of good things coming. But at the same time, I'm in the end of my career, and I'm. I think this is going to be my last year fighting, and I'm ready to move on to next and better things, man.
Well, I'm looking forward to your fights coming up, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
on
so
the.
much, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no,
I
no, thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you
I
for
mean,
sharing your
I
stories and
told.
experiences.
Yeah, I told you that I'll be here, man. I hate we've been missing each other for a long time, but I'm like the kind of guy. If I said I'm gonna do something, I do it. Even though today, I'm sorry, guys, I look like a little tired because I'll be moving. I'm moving to a different country. I'm moving to South Africa, so it's not easy. Packing everything, put in a container, going there, coming back, and having to transfer fight. So my mind is all over the place. So like I said, I promise you. And if you didn't, that's why I gave you my number yesterday because I'll completely forgot. If you didn't text me, I'll never be on. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate you having me, man.
And to the listeners, everyone, go to the description down below and go give Jay a follow on all his social medias. And to
Thank
everyone
you.
listening as well, stay tuned for more amazing stories on Every Day is Friday. If you enjoyed this, make sure to follow, share, and keep that Every Day is Friday mindset going. Stay inspired
Every
and
day is
make every
Friday.
day feel like Friday. Until next time,
Every day is
everybody,
Friday. All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
every day is Friday
Thank you.
indeed.
Every day is Friday. All right, man. Thanks.